If you're desperate to fill your preschool classes and you've tried every marketing tactic under the sun, but nothing's working, well, listen up. We need to have you go back to the basics. Today, you're going to learn the marketing strategies and tactics that work time and time again so you can finally fill your classes. Welcome back, everyone, to the Preschool All-Stars podcast. I'm your host, Joy Anderson, and today I am joined by my good friend, Kris Murray. She is the founder and president of the Childcare Success Company. Her journey began back in 2008 when her children's preschool was starting to see a dip in enrollment, and she, with her marketing know-how and knowledge, came in, saved the day, was able to double their enrollment and really just skyrocket that business owner's career. From there, she built a company to help childcare owners find happiness and success in their business, not only in their business, but also their life. She's the author of several books, including The Ultimate Childcare Marketing Guide. She's also the host of the Childcare Rockstar Radio podcast, and she's the creator of the Childcare Success Summit. So, Kris, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you, Joy. I'm thrilled to be here.
This has been one of my dreams, quite frankly, to be able to interview you because we started our businesses back in 2008, very similar times. I went the preschool route, you went the childcare route, and your business has just blossomed into this amazing opportunity to help so many owners across the world. I know we've followed each other since 2008 and been friends through the whole time. So tell me back to that moment. I'd actually like to bring us back to the time when you were helping that business with your children's preschool. What were they experiencing? Because I guarantee whatever their feelings were, we've got listeners on that are feeling the exact same strain right now in their own businesses. Bring us back to like what they were feeling.
So what they were feeling was going through the Great Recession of 2008, 2009. It was very high level of pain, fear, and uncertainty, much like today, Joy, with what we're going through with COVID, around trying to attract, enroll, and retain parents. And what I actually did, lifting back out of that to more of a 10,000 foot view, is that my kids were enrolled in a Montessori program, a home-based preschool program, the largest chain in the United States. And then this final client became my first client, this mom and pop preschool / daycare with about a capacity of 100 kids. And across all those types of businesses or schools, it was all the same, which was no one was doing practices in the very beginning of what you know as the funnel, the phone call, the website, the inquiring phase. When you're a mom, you pick up the phone and you call 4 or 5 preschools all in a short time period, and you want to learn more. You want to learn about not just price, but what they offer. But what I found was everybody was leading with price. They were all depending on price and location, and they were in a commodity way of thinking about preschool. And I was like, we need to flip that. We need to flip the practices around enrollment to differentiation and value and trust and follow-up and great communication and relationship building and personalization. Like when you actually answer the phone, ask the child's name and use it a little bit throughout conversation and ask, what is Travis into right now? And just show that you care on the phone instead of just going, we're $225 a week, goodbye. And that was literally what was happening. And that's still happening, Joy. Unbelievable. So I saw those practices. I was like, we can do better. And that's how I started helping Allison and Kent in Hudson, Ohio with their program. And we added about 50 kids during the recession. It took about 11 months because of the recessionary times, but we got her full. And then I took that system and then I launched it out to the world. And there you have it.
I love that. You were talking about the commodity. I mean, you think of gas stations, okay, well, they're $2.11. Well, I can be $2.10, right? So They're taking the features, all their focus is on the features. We got to go back to the benefits, the value that you mentioned, bringing the human touch, the relationship back into it. I love that.
So that's what I brought, was just a focus back on elements that really reach to parents and differentiate your school from the school down the street, and really focusing on the message, the conversations, the tour, the phone call, special offers, promotions that you can do to attract, and get parents excited, because we're all hit with so many marketing and advertising messages that sometimes we need that little extra push of a gift or an iPad or something fun, or a drawing, a trip, a family experience, or some money off to do that. So we were experimenting with offers. And so we really wanted to get the message right and give childcare centers ways to elevate their message so that they could actually get some mind share of parents. The busiest minds on the planet are parents of preschoolers. There's not a lot of space in there for remembering, things that are important, like great preschool. So you have to stand out 10 times more than maybe you think that you need to catch that attention and catch that enrollment. So that was the main thing, is we just started with the message, which is, how are you different? You mentioned benefits. What are your benefits and your features that really set you apart? And I don't want 20. I want like 4 or 5 really juicy, good ones, concrete ones that are memorable.
So what are some of the best ways we can differentiate? And regardless if we're childcares or preschools, these principles apply across the board. I want to be very clear to my listeners about that. Across the board, same principles apply. It's just tactics of how they apply them, but principles are the same. So what are some of the 4, or even just a couple of the best ways that we can differentiate our preschools out there?
Yeah. So I think, thinking about today's moms and dads, one thing that they really want in general is they want ease of use. They want technology for the parent that helps with communication and tracking their child's whereabouts at any given moment. So they love the parent apps that are out there. There's a few that we partner with that are best in class. So really talking about parent apps, parent communication, how you can share in your child's day. The second one is really going all in, doubling down on your COVID safety and health practices. Even from a home-based daycare to preschools, home-based, center-based, I don't care what it is. Parents need to feel and know that you have excellent safety and health practices. So that's a big part of your message. I would say kindergarten readiness wrapped up in how do you do learning in your classroom that is different and special and unique for children? Do you focus on social emotional? Do you have small group sizes? You have really a heightened level of individual attention? Do you do, what kind of lesson planning? Like, how do you really do an amazing experience for kids day in, day out to get them kindergarten ready? And how do you assess for kindergarten readiness and help parents with that journey? And then I think enrichment is a huge one, is how do you meet all the different parts of the child and do different enrichments and fun things like yoga and languages and immersion and dance and all different types of enrichment. So those are just a few. And then the final one would be a green center, somebody who's doing organics, somebody who's doing really good eco-healthy practices. There's an eco-healthy certification for childcare, and you can have that certificate right there as parents walk into your school, which is very impressive. So those are just a handful, Joy, that we recommend that people look into and really, prop those up in your message if you have those to offer. And if you don't, you can develop them. I mean, you can always be adding new value into your school to compete more effectively with the schools that you compete with. But you have to understand where you sit. Like, where do you sit in price? Where do you sit in competitive advantage or disadvantage compared to the schools that you're being sold against? So I think that people don't really do that market analysis in our field. They kind of are, a lot of them are teachers that decide to put out their shingle and offer preschool services, but don't really think about doing market research to really understand, how should I set myself apart? What will set me apart? And I think that is what we bring, is just that clarity of really understanding your market.
Absolutely. We call it more than just preschool, right? I mean, if you look at all the preschools or childcare centers around, things like that, it's like, okay, well, they hit the bar, right? They don't go above it, right? They hit the bare minimum. So what can we add? Just like you said, adding all that value. We love to do community events. You had touched on this too, bringing that family feel back into it. Okay. So now we had talked about adding benefits in and really differentiating ourselves and really obviously marketing those, because just because you have them, you got to market them too. Now you made a really important distinction here. You talked about offers, and a lot of people just say, hey, this is what we are, this is what we do. But how can we add offers and different like incentives for the enrollment process?
Mm-hmm. So I think it's understanding what your competitors are doing and testing different things for your market. Not all markets are the same. And so we've had, some tried and true offers that seem to work across the United States, which are things like save $500 off tuition over the next 5 months. And it's a simple offer of $100 a month savings, and you're with us for at least 5 months. So it does help your retention because it gets people in that long-term mindset with you. So to get the full savings, so you're not offering $500 up front, So that's one. And I think, so money off offers, the premiums is another one, so a premium is an actual gift that, especially for more of a subsidy market that might not be as attracted to a money off offer, is when you enroll during the month of January, you can be put into a drawing for a really cool series of gifts that are fun, or everybody will receive a new Chromebook or a new iPad or something that your market would go gonzo for. You could do something that's holiday related. So you could do an offer that would be something like a Super Bowl party that you would offer. You could give somebody a flat screen TV and a certificate at the store to get snacks and booze, and you get, you're giving a party. So there's all different fun. We've had people do to that same theming a Valentine's Day gift for parents. So when you enroll or you refer clients, you can receive a Valentine's Day experience on us. So go have a romance night, which what parents of little ones doesn't love or need a romance night? And we're going to pay for dinner for two. We're going to pay for a bottle of champagne or non-alcoholic bubbly, whatever you prefer if you're not a drinker, and roses for her, and maybe a spa experience, something that's very romance and bubbly. And then that's been very popular too, especially in more upscale markets. So the sky's the limit. The thing you need to do though, Joy, is everybody needs to put a deadline on their offers. It's not an open-ended offer. It expires on January 30th or February 14th or what have you, but you must have a date and be driving people to remind them to that date and following up, because a lot of times our sales come through, half of our sales come through on deadline day. So if you don't set that deadline and remind people up to the deadline, because you're missing out on sales and enrollments if you don't do that.
So urgency and scarcity, that's it right there.
Tried and true. I mean, it works for everything. We've all done it. We've all been a customer on that side of the coin, and it works.
Yeah. One thing you had mentioned was either you could give them the gift or the offer when they sign up, or like you said, do a drawing. And I have to relate this to everybody, because sometimes like our preschool owners, we have more like $150 a month tuitions, things like that. So some of our preschool owners might be saying, oh, that feels hard to do that. But if we put them into a drawing, right? And that was our January enrollment special, our August special, et cetera, March, that is going to create the word of mouth we need. And what did it cost you? Maybe $300 if you went to get like a hotel night stay and like restaurant gift cards, stuff like that. Maybe even just $200. We pay that day in, day out with Facebook ads, and who knows what we get. But you create that viral component where people want, and even maybe probably even sharing that. If you did a Facebook post and said, hey, first entry, give me your, you got to sign up. Second entry, go share this with your friends and family.
Absolutely. They work. So when we have people run offers, they usually get at a minimum 5, at a maximum 50 enrollments off of an offer. And the value of an enrollment, if you multiply out your monthly tuition times 12, it's substantial. So if you could get 5 new children from an offer, or 10 kids, I mean, it's an amazing return on investment for your effort.
Oh, don't mind me. I was just flipping through my new book called Start Your Preschool. I want to get you a free copy in your hands. Here's the deal. If you want to start a preschool, there is no better resource for you than my new book. over 300 pages teaching you exactly how to start your preschool, the exact steps I took to start my preschool, the exact steps I teach everyone. The thousands of women who've started successful preschools have gone through this book. I can't wait to get it in your hands. Simply go to freepreschoolbook.com or click the link in the description and I will get you your copy today. Super excited. Now go get your book. What are you waiting for? And can I tell you, the one place that I actually learned my lifetime customer value, I'm not kidding, Kris, was in your book. Like,
oh, nice.
Yeah, your ultimate childcare marketing guide. That was my Bible when we were selling our business our preschool, because I was like, I got to know these numbers. I mean, they are numbers. They obviously worked somehow, but I do not know what my average, cost per marketing campaign is. I did not know what the lifetime customer value was, didn't know how much a family was worth to me. So you actually helped me sell my preschool. So thank you.
You're welcome. And we lay that all out in my first book, The Ultimate Childcare Marketing Guide. And that's in the first section. And I'm so glad that you said that. Because I was really the one that started bringing those concepts, Joy, to the industry, was understand what is your lifetime customer value, and I think, we hear those, if you watch Shark Tank, you hear that all the time. You hear Mr. Wonderful say, well, what's your cost to acquire a customer? And what's your lifetime cost? But we as preschool professionals or have come up as educators didn't really have that training, that business training, that metrics training that I helped bring to the industry. So I'm really glad I got to help you sell your preschool successfully, I hope. I'm sure.
Very successfully. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. 100%. I do remember watching Shark Tank and being like, I would not know the answer to that question, but now I'm like, oh, spot on. I think a lot of times, our owners, they look at, okay, well, how much can I invest in marketing to acquire this one customer? Because they look at it at the month. Well, how much is that person going to give me this month? I can maybe pay up to that registration fee for marketing or up to the tuition amount. But I'm like, number one, you've got a full, 9, 10, sometimes 12-month program for these students. Number two, you've got their siblings, right? And then you have the number of people that they can refer you to. Tell me about your favorite referral programs.
So similar to offers, we've seen, cash works great, or tuition credits, but, anything that is related to their relationships with other parents that can bring those community connections in, like you mentioned, community marketing. And a good one that we've seen is just thanking the family that refers and showing the money or showing the present, the gift, in image format, so you can put it on your social. So if you bring in the Joneses and the Chapmans, and the Joneses referred the Chapmans, and you have them together with you as a thank you picture, and you might have like an oversized check or some greenbacks or something that's like the gifts, the iPads, but showing that picture of the referral actually happening, that social proof element, and then putting that on your Facebook. And reminding people that if they have friends and family that they could refer, or colleagues, or anybody in the community. But really what works is the proof in the pudding, in the photos. So, and if you're in social media world at all, that videos and photos is where it's at. So grab those pictures of your referring families, do a Zoom. If you can't do it in person, get them both on a Zoom together and take a video you can record that Zoom and put it on your socials and talk about, and just thank them and say, as a thank you, and how did you guys meet as friends, or are you colleagues? What's the relationship? And little Johnny is friends with little Susie, and they're going to all be in the 3-year-old class together. And we're so grateful. Thank you so much. And then, hey folks, if you would like this same level of gifts or cash or rewards, come on in and participate in the referral program. And that is just pure gold to get people to get re-engaged with how to refer. You really have to show people kind of the step-by-step on how to refer and what they get when they do that.
I love that. So much social proof, and now you can use it for Facebook ads, social media posts. You can put it on your website anywhere. Well, Kris, this has been amazing. Thank you so much. Our listeners, I'm sure, as they know, if I found that much value in one book that you delivered to me, they need to follow you. Where can they find more information to get into your programs?
Sure. So our website is childcaresuccess.com. That's our main website where all of our books and our programs are at childcaresuccess.com. You can also sign up for a free strategy session with one of my coaches. And then I would also just say our Facebook page, our Facebook business page, which is facebook.com/childcarebusiness. That if you like that page, I am consistently going on there to do fresh trainings on Facebook Live, and I feature case studies, I feature guests, and I also, of course, have my podcast, Childcare Rockstar Radio. So a variety of formats, but our main site is where I would send people, which is, again, childcaresuccess.com. But thanks so much for the opportunity to be on here and connect with folks. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Go to childcaresuccess.com to follow Kris. And Kris, you're awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.